Welcome back to Python for Beginners series. In today's video, we'll be learning how to use random. Random will be used a lot if you're making anything with Python. Let's begin by covering some uses of random. Random can be used to create a random integer, between two numbers. Random can also be used to get random choices from lists. To start, let's import random. Go on to the tutorial.py script we've been working on over the last few lessons. I want you to head up to the top where we define what the welcome variable is. Go just before the W in welcome and press enter twice. Now, using your mouse, select the first line of your line of code. Now type in import random. This is going to let us access all of the features random has to offer. Okay, let's go back to the bottom of our script using our mouse. Go down a line because we want to leave some space. In this video, we'll be going a bit off track from our chatbot and we'll be starting something new. But don't delete the code because we'll be using this in future lessons. Let's just ignore all of our old code for now. Okay, so I've got my workspace set up and time to get using random. So I'm going to start by getting a random integer. Random integers can be really useful. To get a random integer, we're going to make a new variable. I'm going to call this variable random integer. To make it into a variable, hit equals. Right, now, unlike previous things, this is not going to be a string. This is going to be an integer. Remember, integers, that's what we covered last episode. Okay, to begin, you want to do random.randint. So that's random.randint. Open brackets. 1, 10, close brackets. Now, I'm going to explain this line of code to you. This line of code is making a new variable called random integer, and this variable is a random integer between 1 and 10. Random.randint is a function. Random is locating import random, and randint is a function from random. The brackets are to pass through arguments or parameters. Okay, let's try this. Do print random integer, or whatever you called your variable. Press Fn, F5, save it. And wow, look, it's made a random integer 10. Now, our old code is still running, but we can ignore that for now. So we've made the random integer number 10. Let's try running our code again to see if we get a new outcome. Run module. Wow, this time we got an 8. That means it's working. Okay, so you've learned how to do a random integer by using random. Now I'm going to show you how to do a random choice from an array. Now, we've not quite covered arrays yet. They'll be covered in a future lesson, not long from now. But I'll really quickly tell you how to make an array. To make an array, you start out by making a regular variable. I'm going to call mine days. So days equals, and then rather than putting in a string, an integer, a float, or a boolean, which we haven't covered yet, we're actually going to be writing in here a square bracket. So we're going to put an open square bracket and a closed square bracket. Now, when you have an open and closed square bracket, this means we've suddenly got an array. or what Python calls a list. So I want you to write in here, quotation mark, Monday, quotation mark, comma, quotation mark, Tuesday, quotation mark. Now, this has become a list, or in other programming languages known as an array. I'll probably be calling it array throughout the series. In our array we have two objects, each are strings. We've got one, Monday, and another, Tuesday. So this array here has two strings inside of it. Now, if we do print days and run our code, it'll print the two strings we have inside of our array, Monday and Tuesday. Now, I want you to kill your program. Now, we're going to implement our random into this array. To do this, I want you to make a new variable called day. Then follow an equal sign, like always. And this time, we're going to be doing something like we did up here. But rather than rand int, we're going to be using choice. So type in random.choice, open bracket, closed bracket. Now, this piece of code here is saying there is a variable called day, and that variable is a random choice, and then it goes, oops, what's happened? I don't understand. And it'll just skip this completely because there's nothing for it to do. It's got nothing to choose a random choice from. To provide it with something to get a random choice out of, we need to give it an argument or a parameter. Remember, like we did up here, 1 and 10? Well, in this we need to provide a list or an array. So my list is called days. However, your list might be called something else. So after you've put that in, now your code is saying, right, we're going to get a random choice from the list of days. Now I want you to put print, open bracket, day, closed bracket. Now I want you to run your module. Hit enter, and wow, look, it's chosen Monday. Should we try running our program again and seeing if it's working? We've got Monday again. Let's try one last time. Tuesday. Okay, brilliant. So we know it is choosing random. Well, I think that's all we need to cover really for today. So let's go over what we've done in today's lesson. We've learnt how to import random and what it does. We've learnt how to make variables that access the random that we've imported. We've learnt how to make random integers between two numbers. We've learnt how to make arrays very quickly. We've learnt how to make variables for a random choice of an array as well. That's about it. Okay, so I want you to remember what we've done in today's lesson, and I want you to try experimenting with arrays and random choices and random integers. I don't know how you want to do this. I can give you some ideas though. There's one app you might want to try making if you feel you're advanced enough. If you don't know what you're doing yet, that's perfectly fine. You can stick with me for a little bit longer. But if you feel like you're starting to get the hang of Python and the way the syntax is used, then go ahead and make an app on your own. I could suggest making a very simple times table app that does times tables between 1 and 10 and gives you the answer. You don't need to collect an answer. Nothing on the user's end has to be typed. It just gives you an equation and an answer. Obviously, if you'd like to and you're feeling advanced enough, you can make it so the user inputs that answer. Okay, there's one idea for random integers. Now, another idea, if you want to use arrays a little bit more and dabble in that, is having a full list of days, a full list of names, and then having another list of last names. Then you print, using this command here, combined names and last names, a random choice from each. This will give us a full name, first name and last name. Obviously guys, that is a bit more advanced and we're not really doing arrays yet, so don't go ahead too far. All I can say is keep on trying, dab in a little bit of code when I'm not here. Trust me, it'll make you feel more comfortable when we're doing the tutorials. Alright guys, I think that's all we've got time for, so I'm going to have to say bye. Hope you enjoyed the video.